Is the IT industry, once the powerhouse of innovation and economic growth, now on a downward spiral? A question that's been echoing in boardrooms and coffee shops alike. Today, we're going to explore this unsettling reality. For decades, the IT industry has been a beacon of progress, a symbol of our collective leap into the information age. But recently, there's been a shift. Layoffs are more frequent. Profit margins are shrinking. Tech giants once thought invincible are showing signs of struggle. Startups, the so-called lifeblood of innovation, are finding it harder to survive, let alone thrive. It's like a puzzle with pieces that don't seem to fit. The same industry that once promised endless opportunities now seems to be teetering on the brink of a recession. It's a reality that's hard to fathom, let alone accept. Let's delve deeper into why this is happening, using real-world case studies. Consider the case of a once prominent tech giant, now grappling with losses. This titan of technology, once hailed as an industry pioneer, is now struggling to keep up in an ever-evolving digital landscape. The tech giant's challenges began with an outdated business model. In the golden age of this company, the focus was on creating proprietary hardware and software, a strategy that paid off handsomely during its heyday. However, as the IT industry shifted towards open source and cloud-based solutions, the company's proprietary model became more of a burden than an advantage. Despite the clear signs of change, the giant held on to its antiquated business model, ultimately leading to a decrease in market relevance and a significant loss in revenue. But an outdated business model was not the only issue. There was also a lack of innovation. The tech giant, once known for its groundbreaking technology, had become complacent. The company stopped pushing the envelope, stopped innovating, and started playing catch-up instead of leading the pack. It's a common tale, one of a leader becoming a follower, and it's a story that ended in declining sales and a dwindling customer base. The final nail in the coffin was the increased competition. The tech industry is a brutal battlefield, and this giant was no longer the only player in the game. New startups were sprouting up left and right, offering fresh ideas and cutting-edge technology. These nimble competitors were quicker to adapt to changes in market demand and were not burdened by legacy systems or outdated business practices. This tech giant's fall from grace is indicative of larger issues within the IT industry. It serves as a warning to other companies, both big and small, of the dangers of complacency, the importance of innovation, and the need to stay adaptable in a rapidly changing industry. To survive in the tech world, companies must be willing to evolve, to innovate, and to challenge the status quo. Otherwise, they risk suffering the same fate as our fallen tech giant. Now, let's shift our focus to a promising startup that couldn't sustain its initial success. Imagine a startup bursting at the seams with potential. Its innovative ideas are turning heads, and its energetic team is ready to take the tech world by storm. But just a few years down the line, the same startup finds itself struggling to stay afloat. What went wrong? The first hurdle that this startup encountered was a lack of funding. Despite an impressive initial concept, they struggled to secure the capital needed to scale their operations. They had a product that was ready to change the market, but without the necessary funds, they couldn't get it into the hands of consumers. Then came the difficulty in scaling. As the startup grew, so did its operational complexities. Managing a larger team, maintaining product quality while increasing output, and keeping up with the growing demands of their customer base became a daunting task. The startup's initial small-scale success didn't necessarily translate into large-scale triumph. The final challenge was the rapidly changing tech landscape. In the world of technology, today's innovation can quickly become tomorrow's outdated concept. Our startup found itself in a constant battle to stay relevant. As competitors introduced new technologies and updates, they had to keep up with their own innovations. But the pace of change was relentless, and the startup struggled to keep up. All these factors contributed to the startup's struggle. The once promising venture found itself unable to sustain its initial success due to a lack of funding, difficulty in scaling, and the relentless pace of change in the tech industry. The struggles faced by startups like these are another piece of the puzzle. So, what are the common threads in these stories of struggle and decline? Let's start by unraveling the first thread: rapid technological changes. The IT industry is in constant flux, evolving at a breakneck speed. This relentless pace of change can be exhilarating, but it also presents a formidable challenge. If companies can't keep up, they risk being left in the digital dust. This is not about merely adopting the latest tech trends. It's about understanding, integrating, and innovating with these new technologies to stay competitive. The next thread is the lack of a skilled workforce. A successful IT company is only as good as its people, but finding those people isn't always easy. Many companies struggle to find employees with the right mix of technical skills and business acumen. And this skill gap isn't just about coding or cloud computing. It's about understanding how technology can solve real-world problems. It's about being able to think strategically and to communicate effectively. Another significant thread is regulatory challenges. As technology becomes more pervasive, so does the need for regulation. But navigating the complex and often murky waters of IT regulations can be tricky. Companies have to grapple with issues like data privacy, cybersecurity, and intellectual property rights. They also have to stay ahead of the curve as new regulations are introduced and old ones are updated. And then there are the financial pressures. The cost of staying competitive in the IT industry can be high. Companies have to invest in research and development, infrastructure, employee training, and more. And these costs are only going up. But let's not forget about the market dynamics. The IT industry is a highly competitive space. Companies are constantly battling for market share, and the competition is only getting fiercer. This puts a lot of pressure on companies to constantly innovate and improve, which can be both challenging and costly. These are some of the factors pushing the IT industry towards a recession. All these case studies and reasons point towards a larger, more complex problem. The IT industry, once the golden child of the economic world, is now facing a recession that has been brewing for quite some time. The reasons behind this downturn are, in essence, a cocktail of various factors. First, the rapid evolution of technology itself, which has outpaced the industry's ability to adapt. With the advent of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and other disruptive technologies, the industry finds itself in a race against time to keep up with these changes. Second, the lack of innovation and creativity. For too long, the industry has relied on established models and strategies, stifling the spirit of innovation. Third, the ever-growing competition, both from within the industry and from other sectors. Today's market is more saturated than ever, and standing out requires more than just a unique product or service. The current state of the IT industry is a wake-up call for change and reinvention,